I, 23F, told this guy, 30M, I just wanted to be friends, but now I don't even want that and I don't know how to cut things off. I, 23F, met Bert, 30M, at a party, March 2019, we have mutual friends. This was a close friend's birthday, she rented an Airbnb so I was spending the night there with her. That night, I got really drunk and before the party was over I went to the bedroom to sleep. There were a few people left at the party still. I fell asleep and then woke up to bed in my room. Round this time, I was missing my ex a lot so I asked if he wanted to cuddle and he said yeah. Big mistake, I know. I was half unconscious and he starts turning me around and kissing me. I didn't realize how wrong this was until lately, but anyways, he went down on me a little bit and that was it. The next day I found out that birthday girl had told Bert to go to my room cause she wanted to be alone with this guy she liked. I'm cringing really hard typing all this out. Said friend is out of my life now. So next couple of months, Bert starts asking me out to dates and to hang out. I said yes at first, because I thought I was interested in him. I mean I did kiss him at the party, right? Wrong. After some dates and a little more kissing I realized I'm not attracted to him at all. I don't know why I was trying to convince myself that I was. So I tell him, Bert, I don't want to do anything romantic or sexual anymore. I just want to be friends. He accepts. Okay, we start hanging out as friends but his insinuations and flirting never stop. I ignore them completely. I play dumb. When he asks how are my in-laws, when referring to my parents, I just ignore it. I assume he's joking but who knows. Months pass and I realize I don't like hanging out with him at all. We don't mesh well at all. I don't know if he thinks we do, but we don't. I feel he is very insecure and looks for validation through me. He starts all conversations and I'm very brief and a bit cutthroat with him. COVID has actually been such a great help. Whenever he asks to hang out I say no cause I'm scared of the virus. But today he asked to FaceTime and I just really didn't want to, so I said that and he goes, what about another day? I want to distance myself from him completely but I don't know how. I feel bad for leading him on and sending him mixed signals. And I'm sorry he has low self-esteem but I can't deal with this anymore. It's stressing me out. I feel dumb even asking this question but I just need someone more mature than me to give me some guidance. Thank you. Too long didn't read. I, 23F, accidentally gave mixed signals to this guy, 30M, but now I don't want anything to do with him, not even friendship. I don't know how to cut him off for good without making things awkward in our friend group. You need to be assertive and stop giving in because you don't want to make the guy feel bad. You're only hurting yourself. If you don't want to do something then don't do it. Learn to say no and mean it. Yeah, you're going to hurt his feelings but trust me, he'll get over it. His feelings aren't your concern, yours are. Tell him no, I don't want to hang out anymore and be done with him. You're 100% allowed to tell him straight out, hey, this isn't working for me right now, I don't have space for you in my life. He's already carved out what sort of space he's going to occupy in your life, without having any say from you. You got to know him, he doesn't suit anything of what you need or want, so cut it. The more straightforward you are the better. He does not sound the type to take hints or even be able to read the room. People have one-night stands all the time, and then cut those people out the next day. It happens. His low self-esteem is not your problem. It's his. You're not his therapist or his mommy. And if your group starts in on you not being friends, we just are not compatible. You shouldn't base the next part of your life on those few minutes in the bedroom. Be quick, be clear, be concise. And if you have to block him, block him. So what? Will this matter by next week, month, or year? No, because you will have cut him out of your life. Hey, this isn't working for me right now This advice is good but misses on thing. Don't say anything that leads him to think persistence is needed. Not right now. You don't like the guy. Don't try to make it easy on him by prevaricating. The less you explain, the better. So he does not have something to counter with that causes him to stick around and continue trying. You aren't sending him mixed signals. You said you wanted to be friends and he never actually became your friend. Stop feeling bad. This guy isn't respecting your boundaries and is using you as a crutch. Just friend dump him. You don't owe him an explanation. You can just ignore him or block him, or if you really want to you can say that you were up for friendship but that's not what he's been giving you, so you're out. And if you're drunk and sleeping and you say you want to cuddle and a man almost a decade your senior decides to have sex with you instead, you aren't making a mistake, you're being taken advantage of. You didn't lead him on. What you described is literally what dating is all about, figuring out whether or not you like someone enough to continue seeing them, by seeing them. Entering/being sent to your room when you were drunk alone was inappropriate at least. Making sexual advances while you were drunk and half asleep when you said you'd like to cuddle was also inappropriate at the very least. You gave him a chance romantically, and then decided against it. You told him this, and while he claimed to accept it, has gone against your wishes with innuendos and jokes. He isn't respecting you or what you asked for, and you don't have to allow him to remain a part of your life. A simple text telling him you tried to appreciate the friendship y'all had, but feel he's been nothing but pushy and disrespectful of your wishes and you no longer want his friendship, telling him not to contact you again and then blocking him is completely acceptable. Entering/being sent to your room when you were drunk alone was inappropriate at least. Yeah. There's no way in hell I'd go into a bedroom where a drunk acquaintance who is female was sleeping. It's not only creepy, it's pretty damn stupid, especially with that age gap. I don't want to be friends with you anymore because you're still trying to turn it into something else, and I've told you many times I don't want that. I won't be contacting you anymore, please refrain from contacting me. Goodbye, and block him. I, 23F, am extremely jealous of my boyfriends, 29F, past, and I want to change that. Hey Reddit. So my boyfriend and I have been together for about 8 months and we have a really good relationship. However, I have an issue that really bothers me from time to time. I'm extremely jealous of his ex-girlfriends and hookups. I hate the thought of another girl having slept in his bed, met his parents, traveled with him, exchanged I love yous with him, etc. Sometimes when we're doing something, could be anything really, for example outdoor activities, a movie, or something sexual, I can't help but wonder if he's done it with another girl before. I get a sinking feeling in my chest thinking about these things. The thing is, I know how absurd and irrational it is. When I think about it logically, I know I have no reason to be upset. I know it's all in the past, before we even knew each other. It's like I'm caught in a cage of my own thoughts. I've always been extremely insecure and have always struggled with anxiety, so I think that's where it's coming from. I'm aware it's my own personal issue that has nothing to do with him or anyone else. The fact that he has a lot more experience than me is probably another factor. It's not like I'm letting any of it show, though. Sure, he knows I struggle with insecurities. One time I got pretty jealous of a female friend of his. It wasn't without reason though. He'd made a stupid joke that bothered me. We had a conversation about it and resolved the issue. In that conversation, I explained to him that I tend to get insecure at times even though logically, I know my thoughts are baseless. He was really understanding and sweet about it. I don't want to let him know how bad it can really get, though. I feel it makes no sense to tell him about it cause there's nothing that he could change about the past anyway. I don't want to burden him with this completely irrational issue of mine. Does anyone have advice? The fact that I technically know how unlogical all of this is and just how little sense it makes, but that I still can't grasp it, is so infuriating. I wish there was a way to make it click in my head. English isn't my first language, so I'm sorry about any mistakes. Thank you. Too long didn't read. I struggle with strong feelings of jealousy regarding my boyfriend's past relationships and hookups. I'm aware of how completely irrational these feelings and thoughts are, but can't seem to make them stop. Any advice? Well, for me it's the contrary. I would be insecure if my boyfriend didn't have enough experience with other girls, because I know eventually he would want to try more things. and leave me for that. I am happy to know my BF had GFs before me and acquired a much better idea at what he wanted from a relationship and what relationship means for him. If I was his first girlfriend, things would probably not last or go well because of the lack of experience. Our relationship would simply be another learning experience, helping us for our next relationship once we would have broken up. Be happy he had a lot of experience before you. He might be in the settle down phase, he might know much better what he wants in a relationship. He probably know also that relationship requires work and understanding, something that you realize only after a while. After all, only one relationship will be the last in a lifetime. Been there, felt that. Therapy. This is a you problem if he hasn't done anything to merit suspicion. You obviously are an insecure person. Be it worry he had more fun with others. You aren't as attractive act. When you value yourself, you will find that you aren't in competition with others. I am engaged now to the man I was insecure about. Years ago it started leaking into our relationship and we almost broke up. I started therapy. I still get insecure sometimes but have realized I have abandonment stuff from .ky dad and cheating exes. My partner shouldn't suffer due to that. So now I'm 99% comfortable and living in the present. I value myself and I understand that obviously he and his exes didn't work out. If it was such a great match, he wouldn't have been single when we met. I'm a catch act. The self-work, not for him. But for you. When you love yourself, you attract self-respecting people usually. When you put in positive you usually get out positive. So even if you two don't work, life will work out. If he's awesome and you work on yourself, then things will just improve. Hey, I just wanted to say that I also experience this. You're not alone. I think of their past lovers/loves/experiences and I think, wow, he shared that part of himself with that person. How lucky were they? Thanks for posting this, because I'm learning how to deal with this myself by reading the comments. You're not alone. Art. As another poster suggested, maybe focus on the why or rather so of it, i.e. when you think, say, gosh, has he been to this restaurant with another girl before? If he has, what's the next step your jealous mind takes? That he liked that better somehow? Not necessarily saying it'll fix it, but I find a lot of feelings get amplified when we try to ignore or push them away versus just head on thinking about them. Guess in the end nobody here can tell you how to not be a jealous person or insecure. Might need therapy to dig into why that happened. Very likely parents or another relationship you saw affected your views. All I can say is that thinking of the next steps in your mind could help. I, 22F, struggled with this as well when I first started dating my now finance, 26 meters, and as you do I thought it was irrational but couldn't control it much. It was to the point that I hated hearing his stories if they had anything to do with an ex-relationship. I have since worked through this but still deal with a lot of insecurities. Note, I have had very limited dating/sex experiences and he's a charmer if you catch my drift. Wanted to share some things that really helped me. All his past relationships lead him to me. So I would mentally thank all those hookups and girlfriends for that. Reminding myself that even after all those girls and experiences, he chooses me and chooses me every day. In other words, he's here cause he wants to be and that means I am good enough. I was able to identify I was jealous for two reasons. One, I was insecure that I was enough, compared to his past girls. And two, I was jealous of his attention. Once I understand why, it was easier to work through the feelings and move forward. I have dealt with a lot of insecurity and jealousy in our relationship despite how much love and trust is in our relationship. This is because these feelings of insecurity and jealousy are completely separate from the relationship. The relationship is only an outlet for these issues per se. This has helped me remove his past out of the equation and focus on the issue internally. Sorry this is so long but I hope it helped and good luck. Smile. Edit. Wanted to add that having new experiences together also helped with this feeling. Other commenters have mentioned this and I wanted to highlight it too. Is it okay to give my 26 meters, lower earner sister, 24F, money or buy her things? Not legally speaking, I realize there is a limit. My sister and I are quite close, about 1.5 years apart. She has been working to find her way career-wise for a few years, struggling with an eating disorder that forced her to drop out of college, moved back in with my parents for most of a year, is on SSRIs to help with other anxiety and depression. In the last year, she finally has found a passion as an EMT and been working for about a year, got her own place and now is financially independent. She makes around 35k/year and can afford the basics, but not much left over to save or use for emergencies as she chooses to go drink with friends/do fun things, but not to excess. On the other hand, I studied computer science and got a job with a big tech company making around 140k+/year. I'm living in a vacant family cabin and not paying rent while I can work remotely, will end up being over a year of banked rent. Basically, I have a ton of cash/investments and have paid off all my debts. I want to share the love with her. My main questions: should I give her money unwarranted? She doesn't ever ask me to pay for anything. I don't want her to be dependent on it, nor totally blow the money/not be at least a little strategic with it. Save some/spend it on needs like repairing her car AC that she always complains about, but at the same time, I don't want to attach strings or create a weird dynamic. Anyone have any experience or advice? Thanks for reading. Too long didn't read. I want to give my lower income sister money. What should I consider before doing so?